No, so the flash roll, I'll just start it, right? The flash roll, I'm sure that, of course, for the listeners, right? You've always been told to not talk technical jargon to prospects, right? To not say, hey, to not have acronyms and to not go too technical. Now, like in this book, Flip the Script, again, like I'm extremely impressed by this book. There's a thing called a flash roll where for 90 seconds, you get super technical, right? And then the aim of it is to really just to show technical expertise, right? And so can you just talk about just where this came from, at least, like the thinking? Because it's the first time I heard use all the jargons, make it as technical as possible, but keep it short.
For sure. If you've ever watched CNBC's Squawk Box, right, and listen to the CEO of 10,000 employee companies, Shell Oil, or I'm just trying to think, like, they have these big manufacturing, concerns, or, 3,000 employees and $4 billion of revenue. They really fall into two camps. One are like these strategy guys. Actually, you also see them on this show, like Undercover Boss, right? They like run 7-Eleven, right? And he goes and he like has to prepare the nachos. And he's like, well, where does the nacho go? And, cheese goes on it. Right? Wait, jalapeno, like he doesn't know anything about how to do it. And so in Squawk Box, you have guys like, based on the uptick of the inflation and the power of purchasing of the dollar, it feels like, our supply chain is going to need to tighten over the next 3 months, right? And then there's like big, high level strategic, all right? The CEOs that you really respect are the guys who have done all the jobs coming up to the company. And they can get super tactical briefly and then come up to strategy. What are you guys doing in the business? So like, guy running Audi, we really feel like this is I'm just making this up on the spot, but I think this is a great example. We really feel like gas engines have lived their time. That's why we've committed by 2028 to have all electric vehicles in our thing. We think that's what the consumers want. We think that's what the mandate is for the what government mandates are going to be. And we think that's actually going to be good for our business and improve the bottom line. But it's interesting, right? So that's great. Strategy, that's a CEO, right? But what's amazing is when they go, I'm down in the EV lab, and really at 1.2 angstroms, you can get those electric vehicle motors to really have the level of power per horsepower per pound that is over 100 times that you could get with a gasoline engine, right? When we put that on the test track and really monitor the data, I look at the split testing between this and this, and I've been on the track for a couple of days, actually driving the car, and then we look at the data, and you see this red, I actually have it on my phone here. You see this red line here? That's where we are hitting the economic level of power performance that is 10 times higher than gas. And that's really where we want to be. And it's a pleasure to drive that vehicle because the response rate at the shocks mimics that of what you could get in a typical luxury car at a third of the price. And you're like, this motherfucker right here, running the business, driving the cars, looking at the data, talking to engineers, right? And you go, well, he goes, yeah, I was an electrical engineer for a couple of years, and then I moved up to management. And you go, this guy can get super deep. There's no level of deep that I can take him where he's going to run out of awareness of what he's doing. This is a problem with salespeople. We believe you want the order. We believe you're going to try hard. We believe your product has a value proposition, right? We believe when we install it, it's going to install and things are going to happen. What I don't believe is you really understand the product at an implementation level. I don't believe that you live in the details. I think you're just a sales guy. And then if I want to have any details, you have to go, well, I have to get my sales engineer, or my engineer in, or I have to get my CFO in, or I have to get the founder in. I give you another little story that shows you the harm in not being able to get super technical for a short period of time. So by the way, this skill set of being broad, value proposition, strategy, thesis, capability, understanding your problem solution, how things are changing, understanding the need for a solution to a broad set of problems, but then being able to go deep. That is magical. It has people trust you, believe in you when they don't think you're just a generalist. And then the other thing is, most people who go deep into the details, engineering, technical specifications, mathematics, financial analysis, they stay there. They can't get out of that hole. They go deep and they stay deep. And then that's why the advice is where you started. Don't get into jargon. Don't get into engineering. Keep people out of that. Keep them high level in sales, right? Because it's overwhelming. But when you can go for 90 seconds into this flash roll and just expose. So the details are not for comprehension. You're not teaching anybody anything about the details. All you're doing is showing them in the flash roll that you have technical mastery of your subject. And the power of this is amazing.